On March 10, 2025, Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, was appointed as the new CEO of Relativity Space, a California-based rocket startup renowned for its innovative application of 3D printing technology in rocket manufacturing. This significant leadership change marks Schmidt's first CEO role since departing from Google in 2011 and represents a pivotal moment for Relativity Space as it seeks to establish itself in the competitive space industry. Background of Relativity Space. Founded in 2015, Relativity Space initially focused on creating rockets capable of carrying smaller payloads to low and medium Earth orbit. Over the years, the company's strategy evolved to target medium to heavy lift rockets, a move aimed at competing against established giants like SpaceX. Relativity Space has become known for its unique manufacturing processes, which leverage advanced 3D printing, automated robotics, and artificial intelligence to produce rockets more efficiently and at a lower cost than traditional methods. The company had previously launched its Terran R rocket in 2023, which showcased its innovative 3D printed technology. However, while the launch was a technical success, the Terran R ultimately failed to reach orbit. Following this setback, Relativity Space made the strategic decision to discontinue the Terran R project and instead focus on developing the Terran R rocket, which is set to launch in 2026. The Terran R is designed to compete directly with SpaceX's Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets. To support this ambitious endeavor, Relativity Space has already secured nearly $3 billion in launch contracts with various customers. Eric Schmidt's appointment. Schmidt's involvement with Relativity Space began with a significant personal investment, acquiring a controlling stake in the company. He succeeds Tim Ellis, the co-founder and previous CEO, who will continue to support the company as a board director. Schmidt's leadership is expected to bring valuable capital, strategic vision, and insights from his extensive experience in managing high-growth technology companies. In his announcement to employees, Schmidt expressed enthusiasm for the company's potential and the critical role it could play in the future of space exploration and commercialization. He emphasized the importance of developing a sustainable business model in a highly competitive landscape filled with formidable rivals like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Rocket Lab. Schmidt's experience and vision. Eric Schmidt served as Google's CEO from 2001 to 2011, a period during which the company grew exponentially and became a dominant force in the tech industry. Known for his ability to guide and mentor young tech entrepreneurs, Schmidt was pivotal in steering Google through its formative years. His experience in leading a major technology firm is anticipated to be instrumental in navigating the complexities of the aerospace industry. In addition to his operational expertise, Schmidt's extensive connections in Washington, D.C. could benefit Relativity Space as it seeks to collaborate with government agencies and secure contracts for future launches. The space industry often relies on partnerships with governmental bodies, and Schmidt's familiarity with policymaking could enhance the company's prospects. The competitive landscape. The space industry is characterized by intense competition, with several high-profile players vying for dominance. Schmidt's appointment comes at a time when Relativity Space aims to carve out a niche in launching commercial payloads, particularly as it prepares for the 2026 launch of the Terran R. The market for rocket launches is expanding rapidly, driven by increasing demand for satellite deployments and potential missions to Mars and beyond. Relativity Space's focus on 3D printing technology positions it uniquely in this landscape. The ability to manufacture rocket components quickly and at lower costs could provide a competitive edge, particularly as companies strive to reduce launch expenses. Schmidt's leadership is expected to amplify these advantages, driving innovation and efficiency within the company. Challenges ahead. Despite the promising prospects, Relativity Space faces several challenges as it moves forward. The failure of the Terran R rocket raised concerns about the company's technical capabilities and long-term viability. Additionally, financial challenges have plagued the startup, including cash shortages and difficulties in securing additional funding. Schmidt's investment and leadership may help address these issues, but the road ahead remains uncertain. The ambitious goal of establishing an industrial base on Mars, as stated by Relativity Space, underscores the company's visionary aspirations. However, achieving such goals requires not only technological advancements but also substantial financial backing and strategic partnerships. Schmidt's ability to attract investment and foster collaborations will be crucial as the company seeks to realize its long-term vision. Conclusion. Eric Schmidt's appointment as CEO of Relativity Space represents a significant turning point for the startup. With his extensive background in technology and leadership, Schmidt is poised to guide the company through its next phase of development, focusing on the launch of the Terran R rocket and beyond. As Relativity Space navigates the competitive landscape of the aerospace industry, Schmidt's vision and strategic insights will be critical in positioning the company for success. The coming years will be pivotal for both Schmidt and Relativity Space as they work together to redefine the possibilities of space exploration and rocket manufacturing. The eyes of the tech and aerospace communities will be closely watching how this new leadership dynamic unfolds and what it means for the future of space travel and commercialization. 1. Eric Schmidt's new role. It's notable that Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, has not held a CEO position since he left Google in 2011. His transition from leading one of the most influential tech companies to a rocket startup like Relativity Space is counterintuitive. Many may expect a figure of his stature to continue in tech or a related field, but he has chosen to delve into the aerospace industry, which is vastly different from software and internet services. 2. Investment and control. Schmidt's significant investment and acquisition of a controlling stake in Relativity Space is a surprising move. Typically, former tech executives of his caliber may opt for advisory roles or board positions rather than taking on the full responsibilities of a CEO. This indicates a level of commitment and belief in Relativity Space's potential that is not commonly seen from individuals who have previously held high-profile positions. 3. Focus on rocket development. Relativity Space initially aimed at manufacturing rockets for smaller payloads but has shifted its focus to medium to heavy lift rockets. This pivot is counterintuitive given the challenges faced by companies in the highly competitive space launch market, particularly against established players like SpaceX. The decision to discontinue the Terran 1 project after its failure to reach orbit underscores a willingness to take risks and adapt quickly, a strategy that can be essential for startups but is often less common in larger, more established firms. 4. Financial challenges. Despite promising technology, despite Relativity Space showcasing innovative 3D-printed technology and securing almost $3 billion in launch contracts, the company has faced financial difficulties, including cash shortages. This juxtaposition between technological promise and financial instability is a counterintuitive reality in many startup environments where cutting-edge innovation does not always translate into financial success. 5. Competitive landscape. Schmidt's entry into the space industry pits him against other high-profile figures like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, who have established dominance in the market. The counterintuitive aspect here is that Schmidt, with his tech background, is facing off against leaders rooted in aerospace. This dynamic could shift expectations around the typical profiles of successful leaders in the rocket industry. 6. Ambitions for Mars. Both Relativity Space and Schmidt have expressed ambitions to contribute to the establishment of an industrial base on Mars. This goal, while lofty and visionary, contrasts sharply with the immediate operational challenges the company is facing. It illustrates a counterintuitive tension between aspirational long-term goals and the pragmatic realities of running a startup in a challenging economic environment. 7. Shift from software to hardware. Schmidt's expertise lies in software and internet technologies, making his shift to the hardware-centric world of rocket manufacturing surprising. This transition challenges the assumption that leaders should remain within their domain of expertise, suggesting that cross-industry leadership can provide fresh perspectives and innovative approaches. 8. Impact of leadership transition. The replacement of Tim Ellis. A co-founder of Relativity Space with Schmidt raises questions about the dynamics of leadership in startups. It is not uncommon for startups to see their founders remain in leadership roles long-term, but Schmidt's appointment reflects a counterintuitive approach, bringing in an external leader who is less embedded in the company's culture and history. This could bring new strategies and insights, but it also risks disconnecting from the original vision that drove the company's inception. 9. Public perception versus reality. The media coverage of Schmidt's new role emphasizes his investment and experience, which may overshadow the underlying challenges faced by Relativity Space. This discrepancy between public perception and operational reality highlights a common phenomenon where successful figures in technology are expected to replicate their past successes without accounting for the complexities of new ventures. 10. Future prospects. While Schmidt's track record suggests potential success, the inherent unpredictability of the aerospace industry coupled with Relativity Space's financial constraints poses a significant counterintuitive challenge. It raises the question of whether a renowned tech leader can effectively translate his skills to a field that requires not only innovation but also substantial capital and regulatory navigation. The interplay between Schmidt's technology background, the challenges of the aerospace industry, and the strategic shifts at Relativity Space creates a complex narrative filled with counterintuitive elements that challenge conventional expectations of leadership, innovation, and market dynamics. The appointment of Eric Schmidt as the CEO of Relativity Space marks a significant shift in the landscape of the aerospace industry, particularly in the context of the competitive dynamics between established players like SpaceX and emerging companies. While much attention has been paid to Schmidt's background and potential impact, several critical aspects of this transition and the company's trajectory may be overlooked even though they hold considerable significance. 1. The shift from Terran 1 to Terran R. One of the most important yet understated elements of Schmidt's new leadership is Relativity Space's transition from the Terran 1 rocket to the Terran R. While media coverage has focused on Schmidt's investment and leadership experience, the implications of discontinuing the Terran 1 project deserve more attention. The Terran 1, despite its successful launch in 2023, ultimately failed to reach orbit, prompting the company to pivot its resources and efforts entirely toward the development of the Terran R. This shift is significant for several reasons. First, it underscores the high stakes involved in the aerospace industry, where the margin for error is slim. The failure of Terran 1 could have jeopardized the company's credibility and ability to secure future contracts. By discontinuing the project, Relativity Space is taking a calculated risk that could either position it as a serious competitor to SpaceX or further destabilize its financial standing if the Terran R does not meet expectations. Moreover, the Terran R is intended to compete directly with SpaceX's Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy, which are well established in the market. This places immense pressure on Schmidt and his team to deliver a successful launch. The decision to focus on a more ambitious rocket design indicates a commitment to innovation and a willingness to take risks, but it also raises questions about the company's overall strategy and whether it is sustainable in the long term. 2. Financial stability and funding challenges. While the reports mention Relativity Space's cash shortages and challenges in raising additional funding, they often gloss over the implications of these financial struggles. Schmidt's involvement may bring capital and strategic guidance, but the underlying financial health of the company remains a critical issue. The aerospace industry is capital-intensive, and without a stable financial foundation, even the most innovative technologies can falter. The $3 billion in launch contracts secured by Relativity Space is indeed impressive, yet the company must also navigate the complexities of cash flow, operational costs, and the potential for delays in product development. The reliance on external funding sources could lead to vulnerabilities, especially if investor confidence wavers following any setbacks. As Schmidt steps into his role, the importance of establishing a robust financial strategy that balances innovation with fiscal responsibility cannot be overstated. 3. Schmidt's Washington connections. While many articles highlight Schmidt's experience in technology and his leadership at Google, his connections to Washington, D.C. are a crucial yet often overlooked aspect of his appointment. Given the increasing importance of government contracts and regulations in the aerospace sector, Schmidt's relationships could provide Relativity Space with significant advantages in navigating the complexities of federal contracts compliance and potential partnerships with government agencies. This positioning could be particularly beneficial as the U.S. government continues to invest in space exploration and commercialization through initiatives like NASA's Artemis program and other space-related projects. Schmidt's ability to leverage his connections could facilitate smoother interactions with policymakers, potentially leading to favorable outcomes for Relativity Space in terms of contracts, funding, and regulatory approvals. 4. The role of 3D printing technology. The emphasis on 3D printing as a core technology for Relativity Space is a noteworthy aspect that might not receive the scrutiny it deserves. While many articles mention the innovative use of 3D printing in rocket manufacturing, the significance of this technology extends beyond mere novelty. It represents a fundamental shift in how rockets can be designed and produced, potentially lowering costs and accelerating production timelines. However, the reliance on 3D printing also introduces its own set of challenges. The technology is still relatively new in the aerospace sector, and any issues related to manufacturing quality, material performance, or scaling production could have dire consequences. As Schmidt leads the company into its next phase, ensuring the reliability and effectiveness of 3D printed components will be essential not only for the success of the Terran R but also for the company's long-term viability. 5. Competitive dynamics and market positioning. The competitive landscape of the aerospace industry, particularly the rivalry with SpaceX, is frequently highlighted in discussions about Relativity Space's future. However, the nuances of this competition, such as the differing business models, target markets, and technological approaches, are often glossed over. Schmidt's leadership will need to navigate not only the direct competition with SpaceX but also the broader landscape involving other emerging players like Blue Origin and Rocket Lab. Understanding how Relativity Space positions itself among these competitors will be crucial for its success. This includes identifying unique selling propositions, forming strategic partnerships, and potentially diversifying its offerings to capture different segments of the market. As Schmidt brings his experience to bear, the decisions made regarding market positioning will have lasting implications for the startup's trajectory. Conclusion. In summary, while the appointment of Eric Schmidt as CEO of Relativity Space has generated considerable excitement and speculation, several critical factors warrant deeper examination. The transition from Terran 1 to Terran R, the company's financial stability, Schmidt's connections in Washington, the implications of 3D printing technology, and the competitive dynamics within the aerospace industry all play pivotal roles in shaping the future of Relativity Space. By understanding these nuances, stakeholders can better appreciate the complexities of Schmidt's leadership and the challenges that lie ahead for the rocket startup. 1. Leadership transition and strategic shift. Eric Schmidt's appointment as CEO of Relativity Space signifies a critical transition for the startup, particularly as it aims to pivot from its initial focus on small payloads to developing medium to heavy lift rockets. This shift is essential for competing with established players like SpaceX. Schmidt's extensive experience at Google, coupled with his significant investment in the company, positions him to guide this strategic transformation effectively. This leadership change raises questions about the operational direction of Relativity Space and the potential implications for its competitive stance in the space industry. 2. Technological innovation and challenges. Relativity Space's use of 3D printing technology in rocket manufacturing is a key differentiator in the aerospace sector. The company's ongoing efforts to innovate through automation and artificial intelligence could lower production costs and enhance efficiency. However, the failure of the Terran 1 rocket to reach orbit highlights the challenges the startup faces in refining its technology and ensuring reliability. An in-depth analysis of the technological advancements and the hurdles relating to the Terran R rocket's development will be crucial to understanding Relativity Space's potential for success. 3. Financial viability and market competition. Despite securing nearly $3 billion in launch contracts, Relativity Space has encountered significant financial challenges, including cash shortages. The competitive landscape dominated by companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Rocket Lab raises questions about the sustainability of Relativity Space's business model. Analyzing the financial strategies that Schmidt may implement alongside the implications of his investment will provide insights into the company's long-term viability and its ability to navigate the pressures of the space launch market. For vision for the future of space exploration, Schmidt's vision for Relativity Space extends beyond mere rocket launches. It includes ambitious goals such as establishing an industrial base on Mars. This long-term vision aligns with broader trends in space exploration and the growing interest in interplanetary colonization. A thorough discussion on how Schmidt's leadership can shape the company's contribution to space exploration alongside the ethical and logistical considerations of such endeavors will be essential for understanding the future of Relativity Space and its role in the evolving aerospace narrative. 1. Howard Schultz and Starbucks. Howard Schultz is known for transforming Starbucks into a global coffeehouse chain. After initially joining the company in 1982, Schultz left in 1985 but returned in 1997 as CEO. He focused on expanding the company's footprint and enhancing its brand experience, introducing the concept of a third place between home and work. Schultz's leadership propelled Starbucks to become a cultural phenomenon, and his strategies in branding and customer experience have drawn parallels to Eric Schmidt's approach to guiding Relativity Space in a competitive landscape. 2. Steve Jobs and Apple. Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997 when the company was struggling. His leadership style and vision revitalized the brand, leading to the development of iconic products like the iPod, iPhone, and iPad. Jobs focused on innovation and design, transforming Apple into one of the most valuable companies in the world. Schmidt's role at Relativity Space can be seen as a similar comeback, where his extensive experience in technology and innovation could revitalize the startup's approach to rocket manufacturing and space exploration. 3. Elon Musk and SpaceX. Elon Musk founded SpaceX in 2002 with the ambitious goal of reducing space transportation costs and enabling the colonization of Mars. Musk faced numerous challenges, including early launch failures and financial hurdles. However, his relentless pursuit of innovation and focus on developing reusable rocket technology transformed SpaceX into a leading player in the aerospace industry. Schmidt's leadership at Relativity Space mirrors this journey, as both leaders aim to disrupt the space industry with innovative technologies and strategic partnerships. The appointment of Eric Schmidt as CEO of Relativity Space represents a significant turning point for the company and the broader space industry. With Schmidt's extensive experience in technology and leadership, the future of Relativity Space and its ambitions, particularly with the upcoming launch of the Terran R rocket, is poised for transformation. Below are key predictions regarding the future outlook for Relativity Space and the implications of Schmidt's leadership. 1. Enhanced innovation and efficiency in rocket manufacturing. Relativity Space's unique approach to manufacturing rockets through 3D printing technology is set to revolutionize the industry. Under Schmidt's leadership, we can expect a continued emphasis on optimizing production processes, reducing costs, and increasing efficiency. The company's transition to the Terran R rocket will likely leverage these innovations, allowing for a more adaptable and responsive manufacturing pipeline that can quickly meet changing market demands. 2. Successful launch of Terran R in 2026. The Terran R rocket is anticipated to be a game-changer for Relativity Space. With nearly $3 billion in secured launch contracts, the company is well-positioned to establish a foothold in the medium to heavy lift market. If the launch is successful, it will not only validate Relativity Space's technology but also serve as a significant milestone in Schmidt's tenure, potentially attracting more customers and investors. 3. Increased competition with industry giants. Schmidt's entry into the space sector places him in direct competition with established players like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Rocket Lab. The rivalry will likely drive innovation and lead to more aggressive pricing strategies in the launch market. As Relativity Space aims for a share of the commercial satellite launch market, it may prompt established companies to enhance their offerings, leading to a more dynamic and competitive landscape. 4. Focus on long-term goals, Mars colonization. One of Relativity Space's long-term aspirations is to contribute to the establishment of an industrial base on Mars. With Schmidt's vision and leadership, the company may increase its investments in research and development aimed at achieving this ambitious goal. Collaborations with governmental agencies and partnerships with other companies could become more prevalent, enhancing the feasibility of manned missions to Mars and related projects. 5. Strategic partnerships and government relations. Schmidt's connections in Washington, D.C. could play a critical role in facilitating partnerships and securing government contracts. As space exploration becomes a priority for national security and technological advancement, Relativity Space may benefit from increased government support and funding. This could lead to collaborative projects with NASA and other agencies, particularly in areas such as satellite launches and interplanetary missions. 6. Resilience against market volatility. The space industry is known for its cyclical nature and susceptibility to economic fluctuations. However, with a strong leader like Schmidt, Relativity Space may develop strategies to navigate financial challenges more effectively. His experience in managing high-growth companies could contribute to a more resilient business model, potentially allowing the company to weather downturns and capitalize on emerging opportunities. 7. Increased focus on sustainability. As environmental concerns become more pressing, space companies are increasingly expected to adopt sustainable practices. Relativity Space may lead initiatives to minimize the environmental impact of rocket launches. Innovations in fuel technology and waste management could be prioritized, aligning with broader industry trends towards sustainability and responsible exploration. 8. Potential expansion beyond launch services. As Relativity Space solidifies its position in the launch market, it may explore opportunities beyond traditional rocket launches. This could include satellite manufacturing, space tourism, or even orbital infrastructure development. Schmidt's diverse technological background could inspire new business models that capitalize on the growing interest in commercial space activities. 9. Global expansion and international collaborations. The future may also see Relativity Space expanding its operations internationally. Schmidt's leadership could facilitate partnerships with foreign governments and private entities interested in space exploration. This global approach may open new markets and provide avenues for collaborative projects, enhancing the company's reach and influence in the space sector. 10. Innovation in workforce development. With the increasing demand for skilled workers in the space industry, Relativity Space may invest in workforce development programs. Schmidt could advocate for initiatives that foster talent in engineering, manufacturing, and aerospace technology, ensuring that the company has access to a skilled workforce capable of driving innovation and efficiency. Conclusion. Eric Schmidt's appointment as CEO of Relativity Space ushers in a new era for the company, characterized by ambitious goals and innovative strategies. As the company prepares for the launch of the Terran R rocket and aims to solidify its position in the competitive space industry, the future looks promising. Through enhanced innovation, strategic partnerships, and a focus on long-term goals like Mars colonization, Relativity Space under Schmidt's leadership is poised to become a significant player in the ongoing evolution of space exploration and commercial space activities.